referee has stopped this contest. 20 seconds into the first round. Your winner and new UFC featherweight champion, the notorious Conor McGregor!
Yeah! I tell you what, you're hired, yeah? Get that man a job.
That's a great note to end it on. Unfortunately, we have to wrap it up, but what a way to wrap it up. Guys, don't forget, July 11th, UFC 189, right here at the MGM Grand International Fight Week. Conor McGregor versus
Thank
Jose
you so much,
Aldo.
everybody. Have
Thanks,
a great
guys.
weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Can you talk to us a little bit about your thoughts on Conor McGregor?
I like Conor McGregor. I think he's a talented fighter. He's very good at promoting himself, but I don't think it's fake. I think that's his real personality. The guy, he's probably been, in elementary school yapping off to everyone and probably getting beat up a little bit more back then than he does now. But, I think he's an exciting fighter. I think Jose Aldo is the best fighter in the world, pound for pound. He's beat guys like Frankie Edgar, Chad Mendez, myself. He's beat, some of the best guys in the game, and I don't think that Conor's not in his league. I just think that Aldo's the better fighter, and I also think that I don't think they're coddling Conor by any means, but they're definitely keeping him away from guys like Frankie Edgar, Dennis Bermudez, and Chad Mendez for now, because it makes sense for him to have his best chance against another striker to possibly get the belt, because he's a promotional, piece of gold. Guys, he's a whole pot of gold.
Is he the Irish Muhammad Ali?
I don't know about that. I mean, Muhammad Ali was a very, influential person for a lot of other reasons, just from being a great fighter. And right now, Conor McGregor has, he can speak well, and he dresses like Pee Wee Herman, but, it's not because of his. It's not because of anything that he's done that he's getting notoriety. Muhammad Ali was a very influential person. So.
One more. Does your right favourite fight for a title in 2015?
You know what? I feel like I'm always fighting for a title, man. I like to see the statistics of my fights that have been title fights, and you got to consider, we didn't have pride in the UFC for my weight class when I first started. I was fighting in the Gladiator Challenge and the King of the Cage and TKO and the WC against the top fighters in the world. So most of my fights have been title fights. So I would say.
Will we see another one now this year?
Probably.
Late last week, it was confirmed by the UFC that UFC 186 in Montreal, Quebec, Canada will be headlined by Renan Barão versus TJ Dillashaw #2. I'm calling it 2.5, like I said, because they were supposed to fight in August. So I wanted to have the champion on to discuss this matchup. April the 25th, there he is, TJ Dillashaw himself. TJ, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on again.
It is a pleasure as always. So you're coming to my hometown, Montreal. Have you ever been there before?
I have. I fought Issei Tamura there.
Of course.
I'm a GS.
That's right. When you were,
Great.
It is a great city, and I'm an idiot for not remembering that. You're headlining, though, a Californian and a Brazilian headlining in Canada. Did you have any reservations? Were you surprised when you got the news the fight was taking place in Canada, Northeast French Canada of all places?
I wasn't surprised. I mean, Canada is a huge supporter of MMA. Every time I've gone up there, I've gotten great respect by them, and they soak up MMA. They love it up there. I don't know if it's because of hockey and all the fighting up there, and they're just huge fans. Canada.
Are you still there? Okay, there you are. It was freezing on us a little bit. What was your reaction? It was such a weird thing because after your fight, and even after Barão's fight, we thought it was. I mean, most of us thought right then and there it was going to be Dominic Cruz next for you, especially after his performance at UFC 178. devastating news, he pulls out, and then, you know, moments later, a Sun South says that he's injured as well, so now we're back to Barao. What was your reaction when you had to come to terms that it wasn't going to be Cruz, it wasn't going to be the rematch against the Sun South, it was going to be Barao again so soon?
You know, I was super disappointed that Cruz was hurt. That's the fight I wanted. I feel like that's the fight the fans wanted. When I first got in this sport, he was the champion WC, so you know that was who I was looking forward to fighting. Unfortunately, he is hurt, and I feel bad for him. You know, that's unfortunate. Not only for not getting the fight, but the fact that he's injured to get out for another year. The Sin South too. It's just kind of a crazy day. As soon as Cruz decided he was hurt, so did Sin South. So it was really, really crazy to me, you know. And then I just knew that Barao would be next in line, so I wasn't surprised by that matchup at all.
Did you find out like the rest of us, just via, you know, social media or, you know, the MMA news sites, or did you get a heads up beforehand?
I kind of had a heads up. You know, nothing was official, but I had a heads up that was probably what was going to happen. And then I found out it was official after it was on social media.
And did you feel like they were going to go in a totally different direction? I mean, I've heard some rumors here and there about other matchups discussed, or did you feel after you were informed that both Cruz and Assunção were out that Barao had to be the guy? Essentially, were you holding out hope that they'd go in a different direction because you've been linked to him for so long?
Yeah and no. I mean, I feel like that's still a very marketable fight in the fact that how great of a champion he was, how great of a fighter he was the last decade, and that you know, I feel like that's still a big fight that everyone wants to see. It didn't get to happen in Sacramento, so maybe there's even more build up now. It does suck that my last 3 training camps have been training for Renan Barao and getting ready for the same guy, but it's also a blessing as well. You know, I don't have to think into too much of what my next opponent's going to do. I know what Barao's going to do, and I've already been training for the guy for a really long time, so I just get to continue where I left off, and I get to come out and surprise him as well, show him things that I've added to my game, and that, you know, I plan on finishing him a whole lot faster than I did the first time. I'm going to make a statement this fight and get this guy behind me and put him on the back burner. You know, I'm tired of hearing this guy's name, and you know, I feel that I'm just his kryptonite, and I'm gonna demolish him this fight.
Do you feel like he has done enough to deserve another crack at you? You know, he misses weight, pulls out the day of the weigh-ins, and then he comes back against Mitch Gagnon. That wasn't one of his best performances. So do you feel like he's done enough to get this shot again?
As the great GSP would say, I was not impressed with his performance. But no, he didn't look good against Gagnon. Him missing weight was completely unprofessional. I think he's too big for the weight class in general, but I do give him the title shot because of the fact of what he's done in the past. We were supposed to fight anyway, so we might as well just make it happen. And he's the guy that I'd rather just finish. Like I said, if I'm going to beat him, I might as well beat him now and get him out of the way, especially when he doesn't look very good.
Yeah. Do you feel like he is doing himself a disservice by fighting at 135? Like he could be a lot better these days if he wasn't cutting so much weight?
Yeah, I think he's too slow for the weight class. You know, I'm going to prove that again. You feel like a step behind. I feel like Gagnon could have won the fight if he wouldn't have gassed himself out. Gagnon looked faster than him, and I feel like it's just going to take a toll on him for how much weight he's cutting, and then, you know, how long his camp's going to have to be for cutting weight. And, you know, for me, I don't have to start cutting weight until a week out. You know, I don't really have to start watching my weight seriously until I get to Montreal. Other than that, it's just maintaining and eating the right ways.
Wait, how much do you weigh right now?
I'm a little bigger. I probably weigh 155 at the most.
But this isn't normal for you? This is a little bigger than usual?
I guess a little bit. You know, I've been in between 55 and 160. I was doing nothing but strength conditioning the last couple months when I was out with my elbow surgery. So I put on a little more size, which that was the plan. I've been trying to put on a couple pounds of muscle so that I could, you know, just kind of, I think, feel a little bit bigger for the weight class. You know, I'm fast for the weight class, and I've got all the technique, I believe. I feel like the one thing I could have added on the off season was putting on some size and strength, and I did so with my strength conditioning coach.
Can you explain exactly what happened with the elbow, and is it true that it was all because of what happened in the Joe Soto fight? That's where you injured it.
No, it's been bothering me my last 3 fights with getting ready for the fight. It's not only just from the fight, it's from the camp and just taking impact on my elbow from blocking kicks and using it on the pads. And I've just had a bad bursa sac on my left elbow for a while. After my fights, it pretty swollen. It gets filled up with fluid. But after the Joe Soto fight, it did get its biggest. It got really big on my elbow from elbowing him in some ground and pound. And after the fight, I got it drained just like I did after every other fight, but it kept coming back. It was more irritated than normal, and so I had to get it drained 4 different times, and it just wouldn't stay away. So I had to get my bursa sac removed from my elbow.
Wow. And how's it now?
Yeah. It's 100%. I mean, it was a pretty minor surgery. The scar's pretty gnarly, but you know, I was only out for 5 weeks of like full goes for the most part. So it wasn't nothing too bad. It was just kind of, you know, making sure I don't come back too early and hurt it again.
Can we see the scar?
Yeah. It's it's probably like a good 4-inch scar all the way across my elbow.
Wow.
You know, they had to, I didn't really open me all the way up to get this bursa sac out. I thought it was gonna be